boys and girls. So here we are in the PZ4H on a Redshire. Um, Basically, it's tier 5s up and down on both teams. So I am going to go over here where the heavies kind of clash and see what we can do. I haven't played this tank since 2000 and probably 2011. You'll hear me talk about it in the post-game stats. I went through and looked for tanks that I've got in my garage that I haven't played in forever, and I had pretty crappy stats in, so that I can kind of play them and get the stats brought up on them. Nothing. I don't like that when you look at stats of a tank and they're cherry red. I like that color blue and that color purple. So I figured I'd go through and play stuff that I probably had no clue what the hell I was doing, back in 2010 and 11 when I was playing them originally. So I figured I'd go back through and try and get the stats up in them. The unfortunate thing is I haven't played them in so long. A lot of them I couldn't remember. Who put that house there? I couldn't remember how the tank was back then, and now I'm trying to play it now, so it'll be interesting. It'll be a little bit of a challenge, I guess you could say. But it can bring your overall stats up when you have tanks that all have blue and purple win WN8s, and you do good in. So there's a difference between doing all right and bringing your stats up in them big time. So anyways, I'm pushing over this way, and I'm thinking, wow, there's nothing over here. And then all of a sudden I see me a Churchill 3. Great frontal armor. If you ever have a Churchill 3 come up on you, I thought I was going to get that guy, but no such luck. If you ever have a Churchill 3 come up on you like that, you want to shoot for the turret. Let's see where he hit me. So I think that bounced right, if I can get out of the way, right here. Just due to the angle I was at. That's only because I'm at about a 45. Now, if he would have shot me here, probably would have knocked my track off and put a round through me. Because, yeah, they're shooting AP. So, AP hits you, it's going to go probably right through you pretty easy. If they shoot your sides and your turret with heat rounds or HE rounds with that spaced armor, usually it should basically explode on the outside and be done. It won't pen you. So anyways, we hit the KV-1 for a nice hit there for 334, and I wanted to see how well the heat round did there, and I ended up shooting right over the Churchill 3. And so I figured I'd take one shot. If it did good, yay. If not, well, I'm not going to stay here and try pounding them with heat rounds. I'm getting some spotting damage, and I looked and I'm like, artillery? Ha, cool. I'll take a hit from the Churchill 3 to get rid of that M41 HMC that'll decimate you. So, the 3001H, myself, the KV1, and looks like an M4. Yeah, M4 right over here. Oh, and a T67. We're pretty much able just to walk right through this side because, as you can see, it looks like most of their tanks went this way, up on the hill, and I think there was a couple back in here somewhere, back behind their cap. So, anyways, we're pushing forward. That Ram 2 just got spotted up here, got taken out, and basically I know that when I come around this corner, you're going to have guys setting up on this ridge. So basically, I keep saying basically, I don't know why. Basically, I'm basically saying basically. So this ELC lit up and you watch the first round. Aim, that was the hit. I'm sorry. That was a first shot, first hit. I think it's a shot coming up here that I missed completely. But anyways, I know there's going to be tank destroyers up along this ridge somewhere. And so I just wanted to peek around, kind of get them lit or hopefully spot them. Took a massive blind shot up there, and there sets the tank destroyer. This is the one that I shrunk all the way in, but I missed, shot right over him. I'm like, dang it all. But you get a lot of TDs and medium tanks that'll set up on that hill in those bushes. I figured I'd blind shot that bush. Unfortunately, there was nothing there when I shot there. This T-67 stayed just a wee bit too long. Let her aim all the way in and just one-shot him. But there's a T-67 over here. So now it's just a matter of pushing in and hopefully not getting tore up by artillery. So surprise, I get hit by the leaf blower, my favorite tank or artillery in the game, and he hit me for 37. I know the thing doesn't hit for a lot, but I didn't know where he was setting, and when you get shot, I was thinking, I'm going to go set on cap on the other side of this building and just sit there and get some cap points. Unfortunately for me, he was able to get a shot more on my side, hit me right in here. So that time he hit me for 84. First time he hit me for 37. So, yeah. So no cap points for Tank and Trucker. But we go on to win this match. It was nice to actually win a few of them today in a row, not lose them all in a row. So, yeah. Anyways, if you want to hold on for the post-game stats, I will be right back. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So today we are going to do a review of a tank that I have not played in eons. Last time I played this, I looked at my stats on Watt. What is that? Watt Gaming. Watt. Shit, I can't think of what it's called. The Watt something website. Anyways, so what I'm trying to do is stats in tanks that I have that are, needless to say, mediocre to piss poor. And mainly it's because I haven't played these tanks since really I got them. I mean, the last time I can remember honestly playing this tank was probably maybe in 2011. And I haven't touched it since. I know they did some upgrades to it with the spaced armor, which I got hit with the battle that I had, and it's just a little bit ago that I'm gonna show you. I got hit by everything that hit me, actually penned me except for one, and I would like to know if it hit me in the spaced armor, because if somebody hits you with a HE shell or a heat shell, it's supposed to hit that Mountain Dew thick space armor that goes around your turret and the two shields, if I can move over here, up and down the side of your tank. But that only pertains to HE and heat rounds. So if they hit you, per se, let's say they hit you in the turret, it has to go through this outer ring, and still, even with an AP round, it still has to be able to penetrate this, which that's obviously really thin. And then it has to start the penetration procedure and the algorithm over again to then penetrate through the turret, which I wasn't paying attention to what I was getting hit by, if it was APCR, like premium rounds or whatnot. So watching the review, I'm going to pay attention to that, because I would like to see kind of where I got hit, because obviously you got spaced, it's considered spaced armor, literally you got this and then your armor's here, so that's the space, so spaced armor. So I'd like to see kind of what hit me and where it penned and stuff, because I mean, you got spaced armor all the way around this. Obviously it's all paper thin. I mean, this looks like somebody took a cheap garage door, bent it up, and then kind of just spot welded it onto the side of a tank, and then camouflaged it, or these little sheets or whatever. So anyways, I went through, and tanks that my stats were kind of mediocre to piss poor, I'm going to go through and start playing these tanks, which in turn is good in a way, because then I can do reviews on them, because I've never reviewed this tank due to the fact that I haven't played it since 2011. The only drawback of doing that type of thing is I haven't played the tank since 2010, 2011, so I can't remember if it's a good tank, bad tank. I got to look at the stats here and see that it's got 10 degrees of gun depression. So I see what you know, like I'm doing a review of it, but I'm now going to play it and see how I do in a tank that I haven't played in, you know, a plethora of time. Actually, after the match, I was pretty pleased with it, other than everything penning me. But it's kind of like the Tiger one. Your front is just completely flat. You know, I mean, flat, flat. You know, you got some spaced armor with this track here, but again, it's just, you know, very little. Not enough to make probably a difference. The turret on it's got this big commander's hatch, which is a big, huge weak spot. Um, the heck they got this? What is this? Is this so the commander of the tank can put a mirror in there and shave? But anyway, so let's do a review of this little guy. The gun on this, you get a couple different choices. I've got the big Durp gun on it because I like shooting stuff in one shot in it. The problem being that with this, you can see up to tier 7. So if I start slinging HE shells at a T29, let's say, that has 53 pen for HE, not going to do too much of him. Probably just piss him off because I keep knocking out his commander or gunner or something. But anyways, if you get a match that's a tier 5 and 6s, the gun can be pretty devastating. Especially if you're top tier, it can be really devastating. So anyways, you can choose the 105 like I have, or you can go with a couple 75 millimeters, a tier 4 and a tier 5. The only difference, as you can see, the average damage is the same on both of them. The only difference is the penetration. 103 compared to 110 standard, 139 to 158 standard, and the HE is identical, 38 and 38. And the amount, or your average damage per minute, obviously the reload's quicker. This one can get up to, looks like 16.7 rounds a minute, and this one can do up to 15. But like I said, I went with the Durpinator. I just really fancy the Durp guns. So the stats on the gun is obviously going to be over the Durp gun. The rate of fire is 7.5 rounds a minute, 64 for your standard round, which is AP, and 104 for your premium, which is heat, and 53 for your HE shell. Average damage for your standard and premium is 350, and for your HE, if you penetrate completely, average damage is 410. Average damage per minute is actually not very bad at 2625. Dispersion is 0.55. Not a very accurate gun, and you'll see a couple shots that you will see a couple shots that I'm going to take that I was like, damn, how did that miss? That's why. Even with the crew that I have in here, which is nothing phenomenal, 39 on their first crew skill, 105, 116 on the rest of the crew, it brings it down a little bit, but it's still pretty bad. Aim time is 2.3 seconds, and for a derp gun, and like I said, that's the stock number, but for a derp gun, that's actually not bad. If you look at that new gun that is on that Evo whatever 90, that's a 90 millimeter, and the aim time's like 3 seconds, I think. That's like horrendously long, and it's got an autoloader, so basically it might as well not be an autoloader because you shoot and your dispersion goes so big that you got to wait, you know, 3 seconds for it to get the bloom back down to be able to shoot again. And I hate to say it, guys, I can't see myself, which I collect tanks, and I might be still getting it, but as of right now, I've talked myself out of getting that tank. Every time I look at it and I hover my mouse button over the buy button, that is I was talking to a buddy of mine, Click Boom, and I said there's a couple things that really determine whether I want a tank or if I can say it's actually any good, and the aim time is one of the top things. Nothing kills me more than coming over a hill, popping over a hill, using my, like on this, 10 degrees of gun depression, and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for the gun to shrink in so I can take a shot. And by the time sometimes you come over that hill to do that, you back up and you've got 50 hit points left because it takes so damn long to aim in. It's just not worth it. Now, if like that Eve, I can't remember, Eve 90, Evo 90, whatever the hell it is, if the aim time on that was even 2 seconds, I would have probably bought it because you can get it down to like this, 2.3 seconds, which is really not bad. It's not super good, but you know, it's a derp gun too. Whereas that that's a 90 millimeter on that new tank. It's horrendous. I just can't make myself buy it as of right now. But it's on sale for another, I don't know, 8, 7, whatever days. So I've got time to change my mind, and I probably will. So you may or may not see a review on that tank. But anyway, so that was the stock numbers for the gun. Now, on mine, my rate of fire bumps up to 8.89 rounds a minute because of the fact that I've got vents and gun rammer. My turret traverse is 46.93, which is actually pretty darn good. And the tank traverse, or the hull traverse, is 34.13, which is not really super, but it's a medium tank. You would think it would be a little better, but it's doable. Let's get this over here. Just gonna read the numbers here. The gun depression is awesome at -10, and elevation is +20. My aim time is 1.96, and my dispersion I got down to 0.52, basically from the vents. My average damage per minute is 3,111. You get 480 hit points, and so on these numbers for the armor, they're not, I mean, you're looking at a tier 5, so it's not the best. You'll, like in the match you're going to watch here in a minute with me, you can bounce the occasional rounds, but you kind of want them to actually shoot you with HE or heat. That way, you know, they'll hit, now I got a pipe in my way, you know, they'll hit that spaced armor and the round should peter out and not do any damage. But unfortunately, AP doesn't work on the same principle. And if it goes through this paper thin piece of spaced armor or up here or on the sides there, then it's just got to go through, well, like on the front, you got 80 millimeter and you got a weak commander's hatch, and you got 80 on the hull, 30 on the turret, but it's really flat. You got two really bad weak spots here with the machine gun port and your driver port. So if they shoot you in the front, even if you angle it at a 45, I mean, that's going to help, but still a good chance they're going to go through. On the hull and the turret on the sides, you have 30 and 30. And on the rear, the hull, you have 20. And on the turret, you have 30. So it's got, for a tier 5, I guess, okay at best armor. The only thing that has, it's basically a saving grace, is if you have somebody that's a new player, doesn't realize that the spaced, this is considered spaced armor, and they start slinging HE or heat rounds at you, and they don't pen you because they explode on the outside of the spaced armor. So, anyways, it's a medium tank, 26.13 tons, so it can scoot right along. The top speed is 40 kilometers an hour forward, 18 in reverse, and the specific power to weight is 16.84, which is actually not too bad. Concealment, actually pretty good, 17.93 sitting still in a medium tank, which is actually pretty good, and on the move, 14.17. View range is 363, and your vents are going to bring that up. And I thought one of my this crew skill on the radio operator will bring that up too. Yeah, the situational awareness and vents bring it up a little bit to 363. And the signal range is 757. The match I just had, because once I show the replay, I lose this. But the match I had was a Master Badge Class 2, a fire for effect and a bruiser. We spotted the Churchill 3, and he was getting some good shells through me there. He got damaged for 214 from me spotting him. KV-1, I spotted him, and he got hit for 62. I bounced one of his shells. Might have been that it took my track off. I'm not sure. We'll find out once we look at the detailed report. And we hit him once for 334. This Ram 2, spotted him originally. This T-67, we hit him one time for 360 and one shot him. knocked out his tank, obviously, but his tracks and his driver. The AMX ELC, he was AFK at his base. So with the first shot I took at him, I didn't let it shrink 100% of the way in, and I missed. And it was quite a distance, too. But the second shot I took hit him for 320 and finished him off. Excuse me. And knocked out his turret. The artillery, I don't know what that guy was thinking. He came over where the heavies go, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. But we one-shot him for 230 hit points of damage, knocked out his track and his radio operator. We did 1,244 damage, so we were top on damage. We got 3 kills, and I think we were top on experience too. Yep. With a base experience of 772. We had 8 shots, 4 hit, 4 pen. Like I said, at distance, not the most accurate gun in the world. 1,244 damage. From a distance of more than 300 meters, 680. We got hit 6 times, 5 penned, 1 bounced, and we got hit with some splash damage, so we blocked 1 round for 110 damage. We spotted 3, damaged 4, destroyed 3. Damage with our assistance was 276, and we were shooting HE, which is dirt cheap. So I think I shot maybe 1 heat round, and I just wanted to see if it was actually going to penetrate or not, because it's just, it's low penetration heat round. What did I say? It was 104. So we made 1,289 credits. For those that are interested, the win 8 on that match was 6,279. Only had 8 matches today so far. Won 4, lost 4, but my win 8 for the day is 2610. So I have to go to bed because I've been getting up at midnight and taking off at midnight to drive, and I am pooping, and I need to get some sleep. So I'll be happy with a 2600 win 8 for WN 8 for the day. So, but anyways, if you want to hold on for a minute. Actually, I'm sorry, I already showed you the replay. See, I told you I was tired. Oh, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. You guys take it easy, be safe, and I will see you on the battlefield.